What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from August 18th, 2020. I had a brain fart. Just saying. Your commentators were Charles Matthews and Madison Rain, and this was not any ordinary Impact Wrestling show because Impact Wrestling presents Impact Emergence 2020. This was event 1 of the show until we get to the next event of continuing of Emergence, which is going to be event 2, and that'll be next week. So let's get what's happening this week on Impact Wrestling's Emergence 2020 event 1. Access TV and Twitch TV is where they did the shows, and the opening match was for the X Division Championship in a three-way match. Rohit Raju, TJP being accompanied by Falaba, and the X Division Champion, the Finesse Division Champion, the Ultimate Finesser, Chris Bay. Match itself, I thought it was pretty damn good. To kick off the show, it was a pretty damn good kickoff when it pertains to what they could deliver in the ring, how they could deliver in this championship match. Now, in this type of match, Chris Bay and Rohit Raju was going up against TJP. So in a way, it felt like it was a handicap match more than it was a three-way match. TJP did hold his own though, which I thought was great. In the end, there was one betrayal in this match, and during the match, which you kind of expected, or pertains to be a betrayal, but the way it went about, it was an outcome that I never saw coming. So, we're pertains to this match, TJP going for a jump start with the match by going to both Rohit Raju and Chris Bay because he knew what was going to be the outcome of it. Basically he knew what was going to happen during the match. He was going to get double team. So TJP by doing a lot of maneuvers, a lot of what's the word I'm always means every time. Oh yeah, innovative maneuvers onto his opponents, which tends to him being a technical wrestler with any type of technical holds that he can put on his opponents, and that's exactly what he did, and he's very good at it. Chris Bay catches Rohit with a kick, sending him into the outside. TJP with Chris Bay with a springboard. A springboard cross body, which was pretty good. TJP connects with a tombstone power lever, but doesn't go for the cover though. He climbs to the top to meet with Rohit Raju. He hits Rohit Raju with a thunderous superplex. And also we get Chris Bay with some unique offense, playing on TJP with a gut wrench DDT. Chris Bay goes for submission on TJP, but Rohit Raju prevented for the tap out to happen. No, I'm sorry. Chris Bay was in the submission by TJP. Excuse me, I apologize. I read it wrong. TJP, and also I remember how the match went about too. So TJP had the submission on to Chris Bay. Chris Bay, we're all thinking he's going to tap out. And I'm thinking to myself, now I think he's going to tap out. But Rohit Raju, just in case, he decided to catch his hand. It reminds me of Chris Benoit trying to tap out Shawn Michaels, and Triple H stops the hand of Shawn Michaels to prevent him tapping out back at WrestleMania 20. That's what basically what reminds me of. So Chris Bay got some offense. I'm sorry. Rohit Raju goes against his word during and this is where happened where Chris Bay ends up being trapped on the turnbuckle or whatever. TJP was on the top rope too, and then also Rohit Raju was on top. I'm trying to remember how that all came about. TJP was knocked off by Raju, and then Raju went against his word to help out Chris Bay. Goes for the double foot stomp and got the 3 count and the win. A shocking win, a shocking finish, and a shocking outcome where Rohit Raju becomes the new X Division champion. Match itself was great. 3 performances in the match were great. The outcome of it shocked the hell out of me. Like, wow. I was not expecting Rick Rajul winning. I thought that Rick Rajul was only put in the match so he could take the pinfall by either TJP or maybe Chris Bay. But instead, they decided to go with the shock route. And Rick Rajul is the winner after losing all of his matches. Ever since breaking away from the Dutch Hit Squad, he gets, at the end of the day, he gets to win. He gets to win the belt. He gets to win a championship in Impact Wrestling. I wish it would have been a different way if he could have won the title, and I wish he could have won the the tag team titles before he got to this point where he to on the Desi Hit Squad when they first did the whole Desi Hit Squad thing, where he could at least be a tag team champions either twice, with one different partner of his and then a new partner of his. I thought that was going to obviously lead to that one, but it never happened. At that point, they were known as the Desi Shit Squad. Shout out to Jordan Williams for that. But I'm not mad at the outcome. I'm not upset with the outcome. I'm just in shock. The match is Rick Rajul, he's good. He deserves it. I'm not going to crap on him for that. Despite him losing his matches, they could have just done something more better with him instead of making him look like a joke and an idiot. So, good for him. Good for him. Not going to hate on Rick Rajul because he actually is pretty good. So then we move away from the Impact Zone of those whole Impact Emergence to Wrestle House, one of my favorite things to watch on the show. So we had Crazy Steve, Johnny Bravo, basically returns to this whole play date that takes a turn for the worse, and it was. Larry D, basically a new classy style of himself because Rosemary cast a spell on him. So now he's Lawrence D. But also we'll get back to that. I don't remember much of it. What happened on when they first showed the Wrestle House. Then they're promoting Taya Valkyrie versus Smiley Kali Ray, and we'll get to that later. Also, let me get to we get to the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. You have the champion Moose versus Trey Miguel, where Moose, he thought that Trey under the mask was suicide, and then come to find out, I don't know how he would not find out about it, or at least see how that wasn't really suicide, but at the time, but whatever. But anyways, so they had a match. Moose basically dominated the match, obviously because Moose is bigger than Trey, and obviously but Trey moves pretty quick and all that, and Trey is is being heavily pushed as a singles wrestler of the Rascals. So in this match, you had Moose throwing off his strength, Moose going for a drop kick, which by that returns to Trey being on the top rope, and then Moose does his drop kick, and then that sends Trey out to the floor. Moose continues with the assault by dropping Trey face first onto the apron. Trey mounts some momentum with some strikes, but Moose shuts him down immediately by giving him the fallaway slam. Moose dominating and trash talking. Trey finally gets some offense, going. That was his fury of high speed offense. Trey goes for a vertical suplex into a huge DDT. Moose catches him in midair, and then gets him a swing to the steel guardrail, and then gets him a nasty powerbomb onto the apron. Nasty. Trey is barely beating the count. He looked like he couldn't make it there. All of a sudden, Moose Trey go for the lights out spear. Trey at one point I believe he countered by kicking him, whatever. But then in the end, Moose got the better of him and then got him with the lights out spear. And your winner still, your TNA World Heavyweight Champion, the greatest sports athlete of all time, the walking legend, Mr. Impact Wrestling, pro wrestling god himself, leader of Moose Nation, Moose. Then after the match, EC3 appears and attacks Moose, and then he gets the Teenage World Championship belt that Moose has with him. EC3 takes it and just takes it away with him, along with him. So we had a Grand Theft Auto there. I mean, a Grand Theft EC3 there. Yeah. Now we can move on. I did a show something about Eric Young, but that basically pertains to what he did. So we get to Hernandez. He pays Reno Scum for attacking Rhino for getting the money back. That even though Rhino won it fair and square. And basically Hernandez says we could do business in more business in the future and all that. So it's whatever. We get Jimmy Jacobs interviewing William Mack, which pertains to the whole thing again of William Mack going up against EY, and unfortunately didn't get the revenge that he thought he was going to get. All of a sudden, Brian Myers interrupts the interview. He says, "Oh, who cares?" And then just follow me, interview me. And I say to myself, really? So we should care about your interview more than Willie Mack's interview. So Brian Myers says that doing what he was supposed to do, and to do got him nowhere in this business, and says that he's taking his career into his own hands. And then he basically do a little dig at Vince McMahon, where it pertains to him being out of touch. And I haven't heard that from anyone else, but here's the thing, where it pertains to everyone else saying it, like a Brody Lee, I can't remember who else may have said too, but Brody Lee is one of those guys. But the point is, those guys, they have potential. I don't see any potential in Brian Myers. So Willie Mack attacks him out of nowhere, roughly so, because who is Brian Myers to attack? To interrupt Willie Mack's interview. At least with Willie Mack has won championships from different promotions that he's been in. Brian Myers, I can't think of one. What the tag team titles in TNA when he was there, and maybe the Global Force Tag Team Championship titles, along with Triple E on Global Force Wrestling. Didn't watch it at the time. Didn't care for it because it was a joke, and I just didn't care for it. Period. But and I guess you could count WWE routines to the tag team titles with Zack Ryder. But other than that, what other championship titles he's won? What makes him stand out than anyone else in the company? Not saying he's terrible as a wrestler. He's actually a decent wrestler. But I never found any appeal of why I should get behind a Brian Myers, like I did with Zack Ryder, who is now Matt Cardona. So that's going to lead to a match between those two on Emergence Event 2. Heath was plugging the whole trending of hashtag Heath for Impact, and there you go. Nothing to say about that. We get to Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Match itself, didn't care for that much. Not saying it was trash. Not saying it was terrible. Not saying it wasn't good, because I thought it was for the most part I thought it was decent. But I just didn't care. I just didn't care for the match because I didn't care for the feud. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever with why the feud in the first place. And I understand because the whole thing of them attacking them and everything, and then what did after that, and then what it led to, wasn't a fan of it. Not a fan of it whatsoever. So he's wrapping the match. Good Brothers were furious. They take the fight to Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. So Carl Anderson and Ace Austin wrestled 1 point for a little bit, and then also made the Giants classing between Madman Fulton and Big LG Doc Gallows. That's basically his nickname, his new nickname now. big LG. But yeah, I thought it was good though. Those two guys are colliding. You know, Fulton distracts Anderson, while Ace Austin gained the advantage with a drop kick. Ace and Fulton cuts off the ring. Tends to counter Anderson. Fulton takes Anderson back first into the knee of Ace. And basically, yeah, throughout this match, by the way, Ace Austin's knee was the weapon of offense against the Good Brothers. I don't know. Maybe he has something in his knee. Maybe he has a metal plate in his knee. Maybe he's got some metal piece stays on this. He's got in his knee pads. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what deal that was. But all they kept using is Ace Austin's knee in these type of tag team offense. Gallows got the hot tag eventually. And then also Good Brothers goes for them. Attempted to do the Magic Killer, only for Fulton to break it up. The match breaks down with Gallows and Fulton finally outside the guardrail. The Good Brothers ends up connecting the Magic Killer on Ace Austin and gets the 3 count in the win. So your winners are the Good Brothers, and I can care less. We get to more of Wrestle House. We get the Deaners trying to get to the bottom of who stole their beer. They took our beer. So they're accusing Ace Ramiro at one point. AC Ramiro. Susie steps in and says, "Truce," whatever, and they'll truce and everything. So yeah, the whole thing is that they're gonna crack down the case, solve this mystery of who took the Deaner's beer. Like anyone gives a fuck. Rosemary has plans for making Johnny Bravo's jealous, retains to getting Lawrence D. And she's gonna set up a date for him for next week. And I think there's also a teaser of another date with cousin Jake and Susie, and something about Johnny Bravo and Crazy Steve. I don't know. But we get to the match between Kylie Ray versus Tyra Valkyrie with Rosemary as the referee. Match itself was pretty good between Kylie Ray and Tyra Valkyrie. Rosemary at one point was breaking the rules, tripping Kylie Ray, going for a slow count. But throughout this whole thing with her being a referee, at least she wasn't being a lazy referee like Tyra Valkyrie was. But in the end, it was Kylie Ray getting the win with the Kylie special, which is a super kick, and gets the win. So Kylie Ray is still your winner. And Asia winner and still the number contender. I'm assuming it was for the number contendership spot for the Impact Knockouts Championship. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But I thought that's what it was. And finally, the main event was for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. The Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley versus the North, All Eagle, Ethan Page, and Walking Weapon Alexander. Match itself was great. I love the match. It's between the North versus the Motor City Machine Guns. So the Motor City with the double team. The North with the double team on Shelley. Page hands Shelley off to Alexander, who gives him a backbreaker. Page turns the target to back onto Shelley and hits him with a backbreaker of his own. Alexander whips Page into the corner, but Shelley gets his foot up. Basically tried to do a double team maneuver there, but it backfired. Shelley rolls into the corner, tagging Sabin. Sabin soars to the air with a missile dropkick to Page. Sabin dives through the legs of Shelley and basically colliding with Alexander on the floor. Basically a suicide dive. Shelley misses a drop kick. A top rope foot stomp, I meant to say. A top rope double foot stomp. Sabin drop kicks Page into a flatliner that Shelley did too for a 2 count. The North plants Sabin on the mat with the double neutralizer, only for altogether near fall. And finally, the Motion Machine Guns went for their double team move, which pertains to the net breaker and body splash combination onto Page, and they got the win. And still, your Impact World Tag Team Champions, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns. And that was the show. Great match. Great opener and great finish. Great opener and great closure of first event of Emergence of Impact Wrestling for 2020. So where does Motion? Well, obviously we know where Motion Machine Guns going from there because they're the tag team champions. But where does the North go from here? Back of the line, unfortunately. So we'll see what it will lead to more of the North of their future in Impact Wrestling. So there you go. Talking about wrestling were 5 matches. Let me just double check now because I kind of just now forgot in my head. Yes, 5 matches. And my overall strength for the show, for now, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10 until we get to the next Emergence for event 2 for Impact Wrestling to see if that show ends up being better than this show. This show itself, it was good. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the show. But let's see if number 2 can knock number 1 right out of the park. We have to wait and see. Basically, you're gonna find out. Just saying. And I think it's great. That being said, thank you all for watching for It's Natural Born Thriller saying peace on the streets. This was your Impact Wrestling review from August 18th, 2020. Kind of almost botched there, just a little bit. Where it pertains to Impact Emergence 2020 Event 1. Until next time, where it pertains to Impact Wrestling, where it pertains to Emergence 2024 Event 2, you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world. Love one another. God bless. Live in peace and harmony. I am out here. Ta-ta for now.